Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you a brand new gold mine of content for this channel, which will be known as StackExchange, the workplace. It's a place where people go and talk about the office and work ethics and professionalism and a bunch of other things we already address on this channel. But in today's episode, we're going to be addressing boomer bosses and corporate simps. This video is sponsored today by my entrepreneurship course. It will show you how to open a business. It will show you how to convert that LLC to an S Corp. It'll show you the differences between an LLC and an S Corp and a C Corp and a sole proprietor and why being a sole proprietor is risky legally. And I'll show you how to do it for like 20% of the price of what LegalZoom will charge you. For real. I'm actually really proud. Go check it out. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. I'm getting a lot of great reviews from it. Thank you so much. It supports the channel. I'm gonna add more content as time goes on. Okay, that's it. The first post that I have to show you is from a certified corporate simp. The title of the post is, "How much can I get away with making management happy but irritating my coworkers?" So basically, he's a brown noser. He's a guy that is doing way too much work, raising the bar for everyone else, which isn't too bad, I guess, if you have a really crappy dev team, but when this guy's doing overtime, let's read the post. "I'm a software developer on a Scrum team and my actions make me a favorite of upper management, but seemingly frustrate my coworkers." Yeah, don't be that guy. Now, I don't really care if they are unhappy, but rather I am looking for a strategic risk assessment. Here's why I'm having issues with my coworkers. Number one, I'm not really a team first kind of player. Now, I can understand that, but there's issues when your coworkers don't respect you. Now, they might not have to like you, but they should respect you. And if you lose their respect, you've done messed up, Ron. Now he says, "This has yet to cause explicit problems. I'm not one to consult. I'm not one to wait for a consensus. If I have an idea, I just throw it right up to decision-making level." So he just goes over everyone on the team and just goes straight to the boss. This guy is the kid in class that raised his hand and said, "Excuse me, teacher, aren't you going to collect our homework? Excuse me, teacher, please collect it." And everyone in the class is like, "Can you STFU, please? Please? Like, we're just trying to get through. We're just trying to get through our day." Number two, "In 8 months, I have never missed a sprint goal. I work on a project considered to be critical for the future of my company." My company. This guy says my company. Bro, it's not your company, you just work there. "As it is the flagship software we sell. In those 8 months, I am the only person to never miss a sprint goal. When I say that something will get done, I get it done, even if it means working a few extra hours up to 10 a week. If you work extra hours that are unpaid, and you make that the default working regimen, you're going to make everyone else have to start working unpaid hours because you're going to make them look bad just for doing the job that they're paid to do. And that's why nobody likes you. Sometimes I will take additional tasks off the backlog and do them as well. Others don't work those extra hours, so they often have to report that their tasks are not complete. That's life. That's work. Work is always going to be there the next day, buddy. You're never going to be on your deathbed wishing that you spent more hours in the office. I'm sorry, that's just the reality of it. Well, the other colleagues that I work with have to report that their work is incomplete. They couldn't get it done because they didn't work those extra hours. No, don't be this guy. Please don't be this guy. Nobody will like you. Nobody will respect you, which is the key component there. It doesn't help that the project owner will often hand their task to me and I get credit for finishing it. This is the type of guy he's gonna end up going to his car one day and he's not gonna have any inflated tires for doing this. I'm not saying that you should do that, but I'm not saying that it wouldn't be funny if it happened, you know what I'm saying? Number four, I did something very visible that made every member of senior management know my name. He just gargles, just all the way, ball sack included, just put it in, you know? It's very hard for me to say exactly what I did without it being revealing. But I'm learning to toot my own horn and do the tasks which people notice. This is the definition of a corporate simp. In particular, I did something that meant that a company-wide email was sent out praising me. I'm the newest developer at the company. So many are feeling underappreciated. I can't wait for the comments on this video by all the other corporate simps that love to comment on my videos. "Josh, he's just doing good work and he should be appreciated for doing good work." Don't be this guy. Don't go in because everyone else on the team is going to be like, "Look, man, work's always going to be here. They're always going to give us something to do, and if they don't, they'll just fire us." So you're just gonna make all of us end up not having a life because you want to get a pat on the back. I don't have a need to be well liked. Sure, I can understand that. I don't need infantry level allies. See, this is the part. So he's putting his other coworkers down. He's calling his other developers infantry level. I'm just wondering what risks might exist for me going forward. Yeah, probably that your tires won't be inflated one day when you go out to go home, or that you won't be able to log into your computer. Probably a bunch of things like that, you know. I'm not saying that's right, you should do that. It's definitely, but I'm not saying that wouldn't be funny if it happened. I am not necessarily competitive, but rather just extremely sensitive to incentives. Oh boy. This commenter really gets it, right? He says the person who wrote this post isn't really better than the others. He's actually worse than the others, because the point of a sprint in software development is to estimate the amount of work doable, and then do that work given the allotted hours that your work consists of, usually 40 hours. Whereas this guy always overestimates his abilities just to do overtime to compensate, which is unpaid, so that he looks better than everyone else. Now at this company, this kind of corporate simping might be rewarded. Actually, at most companies it's rewarded, but to every other team that has to work with you, everybody will hate your guts. No one will ever want to help you out if you ever need them. No one will ever vouch for you. No one will ever do anything for you. And you are just basically throwing that away by throwing everyone under the bus. This question, it starts off awful. What can I do to make a coworker's lack of effort more visible? So straight off the bat, I'm trying to throw my coworker under the bus for being a slacker. I prefer to do this in a way that does not appear to be me throwing him or her under the bus or making it obvious that this is my intent. See, that's the problem here. You just go address it and be like, hey bro, I can't do my job if you're not doing your job. But don't throw him under the bus. It's your manager's job to manage, not your job. I fully agree that coworkers managing other coworkers are the worst kind of coworker. Let's look at another post from a boomer boss that just doesn't get it. The question starts off with, why do developers quit without letting you retain them? Nobody negotiates anymore, how can I retain them? One of the things that I found out frustrating as a manager is that I get no meaningful attempt by employees to negotiate a way to stay at our organization. I randomly get notice that they are leaving, and 2 weeks later they are gone. Nobody seems to attempt to negotiate anymore, and the vast amounts of disruption happen, and we lose a ton of knowledge. I don't want to just give raises willy-nilly, but if someone wants an extra 5%, then I might be willing to give it to them. If they have another offer, certainly I'll give it to them. But they would just rather leave. Wow, a whole 5%? So that they can stay at a company that they're unhappy with? Oh man, and you might give them that 5%, maybe. The reason that you move jobs is because you want more than 5%. Why would I negotiate to stay somewhere for 5% when I know that I could just switch jobs and get 20%, or even double my salary? This boss just doesn't understand. He sees developers as like property. He won't let me retain them. What? That's kind of possessive. They won't let me retain them. Because they're not yours to control like that. They're individual people with their own personal goals and objectives. And so if I knew that I had to negotiate tooth and nail for a friggin' 5%, you know, that just says a lot about this manager. Here's another one from a boomer boss that I hope is just not a boss anymore. How to get employees to trust you. I lost out on a promotion because I'm not trusted by those who report to me. The comment says, I wanted to get a promotion, and in my company, that is a very formal process where they have a committee which interviews you, asks your staff questions. I got a 0 out of 5 score. Basically, none of the 5 recommended me. And the feedback on the forum was, does not inspire trust, and staff fear her. Now, I don't think this is at all relevant as to why employees need to trust me. They just need to obey. But that's not my call. So what can I do about this? I gave my team a stern talking to about what they said about me, but management won't share the interview notes for each of them, and nobody would admit to sabotaging my promotion. They don't need to trust me, they just need to obey. What are you, a dictator? You're a boomer boss that just expects blind loyalty, blind trust, and you're managing based off of fear? I gave my team a stern talking to because of what they said about me. I can't tell, maybe this is a troll because the account is called No Promotion. Here we have a corporate simp. The company cuts my salary immediately after I sign the offer letter. And you'd think that this post would be about being upset and being like, oh, this is terrible, should I quit, should I leave? No. The person goes to say, it's not about the money for me, and I don't really care if I have to take the pay cut. First of all, most jobs are about money, and you should care if you have to take the pay cut, especially if they do it right after you sign the offer letter. I can bet you that they knew that they were going to cut your salary right when you sign the offer letter, which to me displays some malevolent intent from the company side. He says, I want to make it known that their failure to disclose it isn't okay, but I don't want to get started on the wrong foot at this company or risk losing the offer because I complain. I don't want to get started on the wrong foot. They started on the wrong foot. The main problem here is that if you accept this sort of behavior from a company, the company is going to think that they can do it to other people and get away with it. Oh, if we can just offer them 100K and then like right when they sign on, we'll just offer them actually 70K. So that'll look good for the job applications, but we also save money because we won't actually pay the money on the job applications. Wow, this is genius. This is big brain. A lot of times companies will cut your salary and say, we expect to be back to normal in X amount of time. And then X amount of time goes by and they say, well, we're actually delaying this because people aren't quitting. They might start quitting, but probably not because they don't have anything else lined up and they trusted their company to reinstate those wages. And you'll just suck it up, most likely. 99% of people, they're not going to quit. They're just going to be like, it's not okay, I'm unhappy, but I don't want to lose my job. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boomer Bosses and Corporate Simps on the workplace at StackExchange. I had a pretty good time reading this. It's a goldmine. I think I'm going to make some skits about this stuff. It's just unacceptable. If you enjoyed the video, click subscribe, click the bell. If you low-key hate corporate like I do, and a lot of other people who can't say it, or because they'll lose their jobs, leave a comment, leave a like, and if you'd like to support the channel, I have some links down there in the description. Thank you so much.